Welcome to the 2024 Cabin Fever Challenge Shooting Competition introductory video. Our delivery team is comprised of Division 1 leader semi-automatic rifles, 3 Bar D video from Canada, Division 2 leader unlimited modern rifles or gear from the United States, Division 3 manual repeating rifles, Distract Teach from the USA, Division 4 single shots, 11 Bang Bang from the USA, Division 5 muzzleloaders, Tudenam from Canada, and Division 6 22 rimfire CNR collector, USA. Statistical Officer Zuo Avier from Finland, and our match official for 2024 Rifle Chair from Canada. Thank you to the 2024 Cabin Fever Challenge delivery team. Welcome to the 2024 Cabin Fever Challenge. What is the Cabin Fever Challenge? It is a shooting competition. It's a celebration of musketry. It happens every year. This is the 10th year. The competition extends from January 1st to March 31st of every year. That's 3 months for you to challenge the match. The match is fairly simple. It is designed around unsupported positions. So standing, kneeling, prone, and sitting. Those 4 unsupported positions. We'll get into the supported part of it just maybe a little bit later in the presentation. This here is the annual kind of introductory video for the competition to alert shooters that yes, it is happening, and also to maybe review some safety protocols that we observe while we're active in the match. So let's get started. First, there's a total of 5 considerations before we get into the rule set. Number 1 is safety. If you can't shoot the Cabin Fever Challenge safely, even though it is a relatively simple match, it's harder than you might think it is. If you're relatively inexperienced, or maybe you don't have any formal musketry training, if you can't complete the match in a safe manner, safe handling drills, then please do not attempt it. Additionally, please do not nominate or challenge other people that may not have those skill sets. So safety is rule number 1. Safety trumps all other rules. And we do want to see new shooters get involved, but maybe call somebody that can mentor you, or call somebody who that you know is fairly well skilled in musketry, which is, marksmanship. Call them and ask them to come out and maybe show you a few pointers. There's nothing wrong with that. We encourage that. 3, always shoot in a safe location and in a safe direction. This is just common sense. Most people will use a licensed range. Some people will go out to the middle of nowhere and shoot in a kind of a wilderness setting, an austere range. Those are perfectly acceptable. Difficult to do in the wintertime, though, to do an austere range. You got to use snowmobiles generally. It's really difficult to do in the wintertime. That's part of the challenge. Comment around children. Children may shoot this, but you may want to water it down, and children may shoot only while they're under the direct supervision of a responsible and experienced adult. So, you got to have somebody there to monitor and provide guidance and train and coach and mentor that young person. The kind of spirit intent of the matches, it's really kind of, I know it's a competition. In many ways, what a lot of competitors see it is that they're competing against themselves. So the spirit and intent of this match is for participants to explore and improve their own musketry skills. This is less about beating competitors and more about personal achievement, regardless of knowledge and experience. An opportunity to learn from one another's example. So you will be filming yourself, and you'll be posting it on Rumble or YouTube or wherever it is that you want to share it or post it. And by entering the competition, you give us permission to download your footage, because we may want to use it in the awards video. But by looking at the videos of the other competitors, maybe there's a little nugget in there that each of us can draw from it to improve our own personal musketry, is to watch people demonstrating their musketry skills. What are they doing differently that I'm not doing? And is that maybe something that I can adopt to improve my performance? So it's about personal development. Now, having said that, it is a competition. And so there are winners, and there are people who are not winners. So there is kind of a competitive aspect to it, for sure. There's a total of 6 rifle divisions. This is not for handguns. This is explicit to rifles. And we'll just touch on them quickly here. 2 divisions are dedicated to semi-automatic rifles. Division 1, which is vintage. Division 2, which is modern unlimited. Vintage is kind of old military surplus firearms that are that are original or as issued. For example, the Norinco M305, the Springfield M1A, the Swedish AG42, the VZ52, 57, the M1 Carbine, the M1 Garand, the SAFN line of rifles, the AK-47, so all stock rifles from way back in the day. These are the vintage semi-automatic rifles, Division 1. Now, right around 1958, there was a technological, I should say, significant technological advancement in semi-automatic rifles. And so rifles that were manufactured in 1958 and beyond are considered to be modern or unlimited. So, for example, the BCL 102, the Stag 10, the WK 180, the AR 15, the Tavor line of rifles, the Swiss Arms XCR, the FAME 542, the T97, the SL 8, and then you have the tricked out vintage rifles, which would also qualify for Division 2, modern unlimited. So, for example, any modded or tricked out vintage rifles, they've been modified or kind of tricked out, they would qualify under Division 2, modern unlimited. So you can't shoot a tricked out vintage rifle in Division 1. It has to be Division 2. And so, I mean, you got red dot sights, magnification, maybe you've got flared mag wells, or maybe you've got an upgraded trigger system in that thing. Maybe you've swapped out the stock for something more high-tech and ergonomic. That's a tricked out rifle. Division 3 is manual repeating rifles. So anything that you have to manually work the action to feed new ammunition into it. Those are manual repeating rifles, so bolt actions, lever guns, pump actions, and so on. And it's all inclusive. If it falls within that category, you can shoot it. It doesn't matter if you got a scope, you can run open sights, it can be a newly manufactured rifle, it could be an old vintage rifle. We are looking at, if this competition continues to flourish and grow, we may split Division 3 into a model that kind of suits Division 1 and 2. So, for example, a vintage bolt action or a vintage manual repeating versus a modern unlimited manual repeating. But for this year, we're going to keep it the way it is. All manual repeating rifles are in Division 3. Division 4 single shots. These are your spec-made single shot rifles. Break actions, falling blocks, rolling blocks, all of the blocks, as Tudenham would say. By the way, we have a new division leader for this year who's going to be taking on Division 4 single shots. Ethan over at the 11 Bang Bang channel has jumped on board our delivery team, and we're very grateful to have him aboard. Thanks, Ethan. New division leader for the 4 single shots. Division 5 is muzzleloaders. That's pretty much self-explanatory, I hope. And Division 6 is 22 rimfire. And it doesn't really matter. Any 22 rimfire can enter. 17 HMR and all those other calibers, no. This is only 22 long rifle or 22 rimfire division. Almost everybody has a 22 rimfire somewhere in their collection. Single shots, manual repeaters, semi-automatics. It doesn't matter. They all fall within Division 6. Positions and distances to target. We'll get into the targets and the ammunition and stuff like that later. But all shots are unsupported, so we're talking about the positions that you're using. All the positions have to be unsupported. You are allowed the use of a sling, and if you're shooting an AR-15 or one of the AK variants, or if you have a large magazine attached to the underside of the rifle, generally it's Division 1 and 2. vintage and modern unlimited, the mag may touch the ground. You may use a sling. That is the only type of support that you're allowed in the competition. So all shots are unsupported, no rests, no bipods. The use of a carry sling as a hasty sling is fine. Division 1 to 4, so vintage, modern unlimited, manual repeating, and single shots, will have their targets 100 meters away from the shooter. Division 5 muzzleloaders, you will use an 8-inch circle target 50 meters away, and we provide copies of targets that you may print off, or you may go out and buy a commercial target. No handmade targets are permitted. Sorry about that, but there's just we just kind of open a rabbit hole when we say it's okay for people to draw their own targets, because not everybody is a good artist, just put it that way. So we need the printed targets that we provide on our website at riflechair.com/cabin fever challenge or cabin fever. Just go to riflechair.com and hit the links. You'll get to where the website is. Division 6 we'll use, which is 22 rimfire, we'll use a 4-inch circular target 50 meters away from the shooter. Now, caveat to all of those distances. You can place the target further away if that's what you want to do. That's perfectly fine. So for example, in Division 5 muzzleloaders, a target 50 meters away would be boring for some modern muzzleloaders, but it's a real challenge if you're shooting a brown bass. Do you know what I mean? Napoleonic era replica, or maybe even the real thing, brown bass versus a modern muzzleloader, which are capable of super accuracy at long distances. So if you want to make your target further away, you're perfectly allowed to do that. You don't get any specific advantage by doing that, but it's the spirit and intent of the Cabin Fever Challenge is that you're trying to challenge yourself. So if you want to make your target further away, that's fine. You can't have your target closer than so these distances and the rules, those are minimums. Just think of it that way. And that opens the competition to all kinds of people. I mean, you may have uber accurate rifles that are able to engage a target at 200, 300, 400 meters with accuracy. You may want to even shoot at those distances with those kinds of rifles. It's entirely up to you. Ammunition and reloading, Class 1 to 6 or Division 1 to 6. The course of fire is 20 rounds. Okay, it's 20 rounds, 5 rounds standing, 5 rounds kneeling, 5 rounds prone, 5 rounds sitting. Mandatory 5-round reload between each position change. All ammunition must be centerfire with the exception of Division 6, which is 22 rimfire. One note to people that are using detachable box magazines: you may not have any more than 5 rounds charged in your magazine. We need to see you rack the rifle after each mag change and engage your target. Just for consistency from shooter to shooter to shooter to shooter, we want it done the same way. We're practicing mag changes at the same time as well. So mandatory 5-round reload in between each position. Class 5 muzzleloaders, the course of fire is 4 rounds only. 1 round standing, 1 round kneeling, 1 round prone, 1 round sitting. Mandatory reload between each position change. Ammunition used is at the discretion of the competitor. Moving on, scoring. So this is kind of an interesting way of doing it. And it's a formula that I believe was kind of originated from IPSC style of shooting. So time is calculated from the first shot to the last shot fired. Bullet impacts that break the score line count for score. Countable bullet strikes are 5 points each, and bullet strikes outside the circle are misses. And the formula that we use, and I'll put a graphic up over here for you, is the number of your hits on target times 5 divided by your total time in seconds times 100 equals your score. So the longer it takes you to do it, the more time is in the denominator of the calculation, the lower your score will be. So obviously you want to try to fire accurate shots as quickly as you can. That is pretty cool if you think about it. This here is an 8-inch commercial target made by Scorekeeper. It comes in a 12-pack. This is one of those commercial targets. It's exactly, the black part is exactly 8 inches across. You know, when you're out doing your shooting, if you're running a commercial target, you know, just maybe have a ruler with you or a tape measure and just have it up against the target so we can verify, yeah, okay, that's 8 inches. Nominations. So one of the, you know, it's not a challenge in this. You can challenge somebody. And I think last year, the division that really demonstrated this the best was the black powder guys. They're throwing down the gauntlet, challenging each other to shoot the cabin fever challenge. It was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. So nominations. Every division can do this. Any competitor can nominate somebody after they've completed it. Once you have completed the match, you may challenge one person to shoot the match as well. The challenge may be optionally included in your video submission. You don't have to put it in your video submission, but that's one way of doing it. The person to be nominated must be well versed in firearm safety and handling drills. But here's the catch. I recommend, our entire delivery team recommends, that if you're going to challenge somebody, you discuss it with them first before you challenge them. They may not want to be surprised by receiving a video challenge and not really have been preparing for it or thinking about it, or do you know what I mean? So you could be kind of putting them in a tricky spot, but you know your colleagues the best. But that's just something for you to think about. So people generally don't like being surprised in a video nomination. So discuss it with them in advance, just to make sure, okay? Deadlines. The challenge opens January 1st and closes March 31st. If you're going to be, so we have a different way of submitting scores now, one by email and one with an automated system on the website. The match closes at midnight March 31st. So if you're submitting on March 31st, you might want to let us know what time and time zone that you're located in, because you could be disqualified if it arrives April 1st. I know, you know, time zones make things tricky, but if you're going to be submitting on March 31st, include your time zone. All of our submissions are date stamped, so it may arrive April 1st, depending on what time zone you're in. The honor system. So the competition has an honor system. And honor is about trust. All submissions will be examined for conformance with the rules by each division leader and possibly the match director. I'm the match director. If a submission is to be a disqualification, a decision and rationale will be provided to the submitter. A clear view of your target must be included in your video submission. Please walk us through each bullet strike in your video submission. Walk us through each bullet strike. Sometimes you have bullet holes that are touching. Kind of zoom in, give us a good picture of it so we can see exactly what you're seeing. But here's the thing with the honor system is that we trust you. If you're entering into the Cabin Fever Challenge, you know, we trust that your target is at the correct distance. We trust that you're not cheating. We trust that you're not cheating. Submissions. There are 2 ways to submit your scores. One by email, cfcdivisions@gmail.com. Include with your email submission the following information. Oh, and only submit one, please only send one email per division. You can't submit any more than once per division, though. If you're going to shoot multiple divisions, don't include them all in the same email. Make each division submission its own unique email, okay? Otherwise, we're going to lose it. We'll lose it in the way our system is. So only one submission per email. Include in the email your division number in the headline or in the header, your division number and your shooter name, or your alias, whatever you want to use to go by, and okay, for the awards video. In the body of the email, include the country you're shooting from, a video link for the address of your shooting video. It could be unlisted, that's fine, so long as we can see it and download it if we need it. C, the name or alias of the competitor. D, the division number, the rifle and caliber used, make, model, that kind of thing. Target strikes and your score, and message if you have any. And the other way of submitting your scores is by the online form, and the link to the form is found at riflechair.com/cabin-fever-challenge. I'll put the links down below for you. Competitors may submit one attempt per division, only one attempt. Okay, the official target. And these are downloadable PDFs that you can get from the website if you choose to use them. There are two types of targets, an 8-inch circle and a 4-inch circle. You can print them on 8.5 by 11 paper. Ensure that page scaling is turned off so you get a true 8-inch or a true 4-inch target when you print them off. Additionally, Cabin Fever Challenge has its own Facebook group, and you can go there. It's kind of another short way to get to the website, which has all the information on it. But there is certain communications that have been pinned to the top. That's critical information to observe. Just notifications as to where we're at. We'll also be posting your submissions to the Facebook group. People come there to watch the videos because it's a central point. It's basically a portal that people can watch your footage from. So that's pretty cool. That's a place for you to go visit. And the kind of location is at Cabin Fever Challenge, one word. Some news. We have a new statistical officer, and it's one of the division leaders is volunteered to take this task on, which is to be the stats officer, so that we can ensure that the integrity of our roll of musketry is solid. We missed a shooter from 2023, and that would have been for Division 6. They would have landed in the top 10 highest scores, and their submission was missed. So in order to rectify that, we have included their numbers in the roll of musketry now, but we missed them in the awards video. So I'm hoping that this is going to rectify that problem, and we're not going to have any more of those situations pop up. So a new statistical officer, and the officer is also going to provide a short summary of the highest scores per division over the last 10 years since our competition started. And I'm hoping to see some of the old shooters from 2014 come back. There were only 4 of us at that time. There were 89 shooters last year. There were 4 on the first year. So you can see we're continuing to grow. Those shooters where I remember them: Gun Geek, 314299 channel, Log Cabin Looms, and myself. It would be great to see them come back and shoot it again. YouTube video labeling. Please ensure Cabin Fever Challenge 2024 is in your YouTube title, video title. That's just makes it easier for us to be able to query YouTube. Don't use the acronym CFC or CFC 2024. Use Cabin Fever Challenge 2024, please, in the title of your YouTube video or Rumble video or whatever it is that you're doing. Dates and deadlines. We've been requested to see if we can't move the deadlines around a little bit because of shooters in Australia. Right now it's their dry season, their hot season, and they're not allowed to go out to the bush in the outback to shoot black powder, for example, because of the risk of wildfire. We can't change our dates. Follow your local rules, follow your local regulations, shoot and submit when it's safe for you to do so. If it happens outside of the scoring window, we can't enter your skull into the roll of musketry. Sorry, we can't do anything about that, but send your video to us. We'll share it on the Facebook group, and we'll give you an honorable mention in the next year's intro video, like what I'm doing right now. So submit anyway. That's what I say. That's what we all say. That's from the whole delivery team. We've met. We've discussed all of these things as a group, and it's unanimous that that's the way we would like to deal with that. Go out and shoot it when it's safe for you to shoot it. We understand. And responsibility. Submissions that demonstrate poor safety and handling drills will be disqualified. And that is it. Good luck. Be safe. Enjoy yourselves. Hopefully the snow isn't too deep for you. Cheers, folks. Maple Leaf up.